What is the difference between velocity, capacity, and load? Velocity is the average number of story points a team completes sprint by sprint. In our example of 3 sprints, the average is 20 points. Now let's say that the sprint coming up, half the team is going to be out of office. So I would say that instead of 20 points, the team should probably shoot for around 10, which is half of what they normally do, because half the team is going to be out of office. Whatever they commit to is then the load, what they're loading their sprint with. So if it's 9 or 12 or 15, or maybe if it is 20, then that's what the team's committed to. So you might ask, if a team tends to complete 20 story points a sprint and half the team is going to be out of office and they still commit to 20 points, why would they do that? Let's just say all the developers are the ones who are going to be out of office, but the quality engineers are the ones who are going to be working. There may be a lot that quality engineers have on their to-do list that have nothing to do with developers, and they can use this sprints to knock them out. Or maybe they can get ahead looking at some of the work we have coming up and start reviewing test case scenarios. Now, they can start reviewing them, but I would not recommend that they start building out test case scenarios without the developers, because often when developers and quality engineers start the conversation, things start to change. And in my book, we want to eliminate waste of time and duplication of efforts. However, they can start looking at things and at least building a list of questions that then they can talk to the developers when they return to office. Or it might be a case to where we have half the developers and half the quality engineers, and there's a whole bunch of bugs that we can spend the sprint remediating, and they might be small efforts, a whole bunch of 1s and 2s. As a Scrum Master, I'm looking at the historicals saying this is what we tend to do. I'm looking at PTO and holidays saying, hey, this is what we are likely capable of doing, but ultimately it's the developers and the team that get to decide what they're going to commit to. And metrics will quickly kill the team if they only look at the number. Best practice for Scrum Masters and product owners is to generate the conversation and start to look at what are we actually filling our sprint with, not just how much is estimated.